inshallah, short and sweet. Class will keep over within no time. So, this is the functions of liver and the biliary apparatus and describe the bile regulation. And very briefly, just one or two slides we will see about non-biliary, hyperbilirubinemia. Liver, as you know, is one of the largest glands in the body, largest organs. Is it?
Yes.
Where is it located?
Epigastrium and three parts.
Three parts.
Yes.
Can you feel it normally? Palpable?
No.
No part of it. No part of the liver can be palpated. No. All of it is basically covered by the rib cage. Isn't it? But sometimes, depending upon the patient or the person, the subject, if he or she is thin, okay, not very fat, etc. And what your instructions you are giving, depending upon that, like taking a deep breath, okay?
Yes.
And proper palpation, the tips of the fingers, they can palpate, just beneath the costal margin. According to the respiratory movements, because the liver will go up and come down according to the respiratory movements, you may palpate the lower border of the liver, lower border of the liver, may. Okay? Another important point is in the clinical examination, you can go for percussion. You know percussion?
Yes.
So, while percussing, that will also help you in determining the boundaries of the liver. There is something called as the upper border of liver dermis, UBLD. When you start percussing from the clavicle, the second intercostal space, going in the mid-clavicular line below. Okay? The note in percussion will change from, what is the note normally over the lungs? No, it is tympanic. So from tympanic to dull, it will change from tympanic to dull. That particular point where it changes from tympanic to dull, that is called as the upper border of liver dullness, UBLE. Just a point over there. It weighs about 3 pounds, yani 1.5 kilograms, and is roughly the size of a football. You know where it is located. Functions, about 8 functions are there. You can expand them or you can collapse them, merge them, no problem. Okay? Roughly, it is better if we divide them like this. One of the functions is, storage. Storage can be of the blood or storage can be of nutritional elements like glucose, vitamins and iron. Isn't it? Like glucose, vitamins or iron. Another important function is formation and secretion of bile. Third important, very important function is detoxification. Isn't it? Removal of toxins and bacteria from the blood. We will see in detail slowly one by one. Another very important function is indirectly helping in prevention of bleeding. Isn't it? By formation of
Clothes factor.
clotting factor. So very important. And for that vitamin K is necessary. You will see.
Yes.
Another very important, so all of them are very important. Like synthesis of cholesterol. Why synthesis of cholesterol is very important? Because cholesterol is the precursor for most of the hormones and things. Isn't it? Maleness or femaleness, yani testosterone and estrogen or progesterone. The precursor is cholesterol. Okay. So roughly, and of course breakdown of erythrocytes. But you will say breakdown of erythrocytes mostly occurs where? In the spleen, breakdown. But what happens to the breakdown products? When once the RBCs, what is the normal lifespan of an RBC?
120 days.
120 days. So once it is broken down in the spleen because of growing cold, because how it is broken down over there? Simply the cell membrane, it becomes very, the correct word is friable or brittle. That means when it is going through the spleen, the histological structure of the spleen is such that they cannot, the younger ones, they are very flexible, so they can squeeze through the spleen. The older ones, they grow more brittle, and when they are squeezing through, they will rupture. That is how they are broken down, the older RBCs. Once it is broken down, now it is flowing. The products, broken down products are flowing. They are flowing through the blood, going to the liver. In the liver, the further process of separation will occur over there. So breakdown, of course, it occurs in the spleen, but further processing of the breakdown occurs in the liver. So this is again the same thing in a pictorial form, the same things over here. First one, blood reservoir. Normally, because you know in the hepatic sinuses, etc., about half a liter of blood is there. About half a liter. 450 milli. So almost like half a liter of blood is there in the liver. Highly, you can say an organ which is having a lot of blood in it. At the same time, depending upon what condition the body is in, sometimes the body may be in hypervolemia, isn't it? What happens at that time is the fluid, the blood, will be accumulating more inside the liver. Let us talk about abnormal conditions. Say for example, congestive cardiac failure. You know the anatomy of the liver and its connections, right?
Yes.
To understand this, we have to know the connections. So, actually, there are two blood supplies to the liver.
Yes.
What are these?
Portal vein and hepatic artery.
What is the portal vein bringing?
All those.
Nutritional blood.
Yes, yes.
Nutritional blood
From
from
GIT.
the splanchnic system, it is called that.
Yes.
Right? Splanchnic system means the GIT.
Yes.
So from the GIT, all the absorption, etc., all the blood that is coming, that is being supplied. Another is hepatic
Artery.
artery. And hepatic artery, what it is doing?
Oxygenated blood.
Yeah, the nutrition for the sustenance of the liver as an organ. And hepatic, portal vein, to bring blood for the functional part of that particular organ. Isn't it? For the functional part, because all those nutritional substances which are coming from the portal vein, the liver will deal with them. Because of these two things, the liver, you can say, is a highly vascular organ. Right?
Yes.
Now, out of the liver, what is the connection?
Hepatic
Out of
vein.
the liver,
Hepatic vein. To the
Hepatic
inferior vena
vein
cava.
going into the inferior vena cava, going into the ultimately into the right atrium. Isn't it?
Yes.
Going into the right atrium. Anything which either increases or decreases pressure in the right atrium will have an effect on the liver. Back pressure it is called as. Back pressure. Primarily, increased pressure in the right atrium. Increased pressure in the right atrium. Like happens in congestive cardiac failure, CCF. How there is increased pressure in the right atrium during CCF?
Increased venous return.
Heart is failing. Failing means what? It is not able to pump.
Yes.
Isn't it? That means the stroke volume, or you can say the cardiac output is decreasing. Initially it will increase initially at the very beginning. Can I ask why it will increase? Okay, leave it. So, huh? No, leave it. We will come to that sometime because we will go away from the main topic. So, ultimately what happens is the heart is failing and the cardiac output will decrease. If the cardiac output decreases, basically in the peripheral regions of the body, blood will sort of stagnate. It doesn't stagnate really. Like compared to the normal person, here it's like stagnation. So it's a relative phenomenon. Stagnation doesn't mean the true word like not moving at all. But there is more blood. So there is more accumulation over there. Right? Naturally, this will cause more pressure isn't it? When high pressure in the atrium causes back pressure in the liver will expand. Normally, like we have seen, about half a liter of blood is there. But in such a situation, more than half a liter, almost 1 liter or maybe more than that, 1.1 or something, can be accumulated in the hepatic veins and sinuses. It will expand. This occurs especially in cardiac failure with peripheral congestion. If there is stagnation or congestion over there, okay, there is affection of the whole circulatory system. And naturally, those are primarily the liver, because like we have been focusing on the point that it is acting as a blood reservoir, as a storage. At this time, more blood is accumulated inside. Let me tell you another point, that because of this reason, any injury, any trauma to the abdomen, accidental of course, okay, and which leads to rupture of the liver, can be fatal.
Can be what?
Fatal.
There is heart failure.
No, I'm talking about trauma to the abdomen. I'm talking about trauma.
A normal.
Yeah, a normal person, okay, like met with an accident or something, or fighting, okay, or practicing some martial arts, and accidentally there is a trauma, huge trauma to the abdomen, in the area of the liver, that causes rupture. And like there is a case in the first year you have gone through of internal hemorrhage. So this will also lead to internal hemorrhage, if not detected very quickly, very rapidly. Depending upon so many variables, how fast the patient is taken to the hospital, etc. Usually, and it's a big surgery, opening it up and then trying to control it, because it's a very vascular organ, rich with blood, so blood loss is extreme and can be fatal. Just a point to remember about the liver. Of course, during times of need, suppose there is hypovolemia, the liver can give out the blood to help in increasing by vasoconstriction, isn't it? By opposite thing. If there is a hypervolemia, like for example, which is the normal physiological condition in which there is hypervolemia.
This is for
No, for a long time.
pregnancy.
Pregnancy, that is the best example. So the liver will try to accommodate. It cannot accommodate. It will try to accommodate some of it. So this is one extreme. Another extreme, when there is, say for example, hemorrhage. For any reason, bleeding for any reason, liver will try to compensate by giving out more blood that is stored in it. That is in it. Point number 2 about its function in defense. So there is a cell in it called as the Kupffer cell or Kupffer cell, depends upon age. The hepatic macrophage system serves as a blood cleansing function, and it is like one of the very important checkpoints in the body. As you know, the GIT is one of the systems, like the respiratory system, that is exposed to the outside of the body, and hence very prone. In fact, more than the respiratory system, GIT is more prone to infections, because it is, you are eating, drinking, whatever, fluids or other things, they are going inside the body, inside the GIT. And if at various points in the GIT also, there are many checkpoints which will try to eliminate the toxins, the microorganisms which may be harmful. If any of them still escape and are absorbed, where will they go? Liver, obviously, because from the GIT, blood is flowing into the liver. In the liver, this system, and it is so perfect and it is so fast, like it is 0.01 second. If the Kupffer cell detects the microorganism, it takes 0.01 second to engulf it. So quick. Okay, thereby cleansing the body, the blood of any further microorganisms, and hence the blood that is going out of the liver is usually bacteria free. So the cover cells act like the phagocytic macrophages, and I have described this. Probably less than 1% of the bacteria entering the portal blood from the intestine succeed in passing through the liver into the systemic circulation. Here also the word probably is there, maybe. Okay. Storage of nutrients. Now most of the things you already know, like for example glucose. No need to tell you about that, isn't it? We took this in endocrine also during our class on what? Endocrine function of the pancreas, insulin, glucagon, etc. So glucose stored in the form of glycogen at the time of need, during fasting or starvation, reconverted back into glucose. So acting like a storage for glucose, for iron, for retinol, for calciferol, which is vitamin D, and for vitamin B12. And in the brackets, you can understand by reading the brackets how much of it is stored in the liver. Like for example B12, the quantity, even if there is B12 deficiency for 6 months, it won't be detected because the liver, they are continually giving out and meeting the daily need of vitamin B12 for the human body. And the store is such that deficiency won't be detected up to maybe a year. So for vitamin B12, for vitamin D3, 3 to 4 months. For retinol, which is vitamin A, again, it is the greatest quantity that is stored, and it prevents vitamin A deficiency up to 1 year almost, up to 10 months. And iron, as you know, the ferritin acts as a blood iron buffer. So basically acting like a storage.
Yes.
Storage of what?
Vitamin.
What are the important things?
Vitamin,
Glucose,
iron,
iron, vitamin B12, vitamin D. Isn't it? This process also you must have studied in biochemistry. We have already talked about it. So the RBCs, they are basically being broken down in the spleen, split up into heme and globin, isn't it? One is the protein part, another is the iron containing heme part, right?
Yes.
Then that is again split up. Heme is again split up into iron and bile. You can say bile salts and bile pigments, isn't it? Am I correct?
Yes.
Iron is just recirculated. It is going back into the area where erythropoiesis is going on. Where is erythropoiesis?
Kidney.
Active. Red. Isn't it?
Yes.
Going back there to be recycled for production of new hemoglobin. Whereas the bile portion, it is broken up into either pigments, or if sodium is combining with it, it becomes bile salt. Salt means what? Combination with sodium. That is the difference between bile salt and bile pigment. Iron is carried, etc. So globins will be hydrolyzed to amino acid and returned to the blood. This is how the further processing of the broken up RBCs is done. Synthesis of cholesterol. 85% of the cholesterol out of the 100% that is needed by the body, 85% is produced in the body. 15% comes from outside, from diet. Okay? It is produced by hepatocytes. Some of it is used for the bile production, but most of it is used, as you can see, for hormonal. Whether the testes or the ovaries or the adrenal glands, etc. Not only that, it is also required for synthesis and repair of the cell membranes. Like I have told you, 85% is endogenous, 15% is coming from the food that we eat. So this must be the advertising agencies. Okay, they tell you that please eat this particular oil, don't eat this oil. Why? Because they advertise that this is low cholesterol or zero cholesterol oil, it is beneficial for your heart. They just want to sell their product. Okay? They just want to sell their product. Cholesterol increased or decreased in your body is very much, or let me say, very little is dependent on what you eat. Because if you eat, say for example, zero cholesterol food, the body will produce 100% cholesterol because it is already producing about 85%. If you don't take the remaining 15%, the body will see to it because so many, products are there which are dependent on cholesterol. Without cholesterol, all those products won't be there and the body will not do it. It has to produce those products. It has to carry out, those products have to carry out those functions. Cholesterol is very important for the body. Now, the question that bad cholesterol and good cholesterol, okay, there are certain things like bad and good, but we can really help it. The point that I am trying to make is every human body is having its own genetic makeup. Okay? Not only genetic makeup, there is another thing called as epigenetics, environmental and dietary factors, etc. That also defined. Whether somebody's body or somebody's blood vessels will accumulate cholesterol or not doesn't depend so much on the dietary cholesterol. Doesn't depend so much. You understand from this
Yes.
point?
So atherosclerosis doesn't depend on.
Yes. There may be excess and there may be accumulation in other areas like extravascular compartment, etc., leading to obesity. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about build-up of cholesterol inside leading to atherosclerosis. Okay? You know atherosclerosis
Yes, yes.
and all those things, and heart attacks, anginas, etc., or other factors. These things, they are basically dependent upon your lifestyle and your genetic makeup. Not the advertisement that you take zero cholesterol, nothing will happen. It's not like that. It's not like that.
Doctor, actually, I think it's good because 85, you already have it.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have that, it doesn't make a problem.
You have to have 100. You have to have, it's a percentage, it's a relative thing that we are talking about. So it's a arbitrary, I mean, not exact.
Yeah.
So you have to have arbitrarily 100. And 85 is you're making for yourself. If you don't have the dietary 15, you will make 100 because you have to have 100. You understand my point?
Yes.
This much quantity is necessary to maintain, yani to repair the cell walls. You are having maybe 100 trillion cells in the body. Repair the cell walls, manufacture hormones, etc., etc. So you have to have some quantity. Let us call it 100. Okay? Let us call it 100. So that quantity has to be there. That is what I am saying.
Doctor,
I
can the person get atherosclerosis just by releasing this 85 without take an extra?
The thing I am trying to say is, doesn't depend upon,
genetics and epigenetics.
yes, and lifestyle. And lifestyle also. Lifestyle, sedentary or active, smoking, etc. Habits, everything comes under lifestyle. Sleeping, even sleeping habits, sleeping and wakefulness. Are you sleeping on time, waking on time? How many hours of sleep do you have? These are having a lot of effect on your body processes. So, lifestyle, okay, genetics, epigenetics. Doesn't mean to say that what I'm trying to say is don't be affected by those companies who are advertising zero cholesterol.
So decreasing cholesterol in your diet does not save you from atherosclerosis.
That doesn't mean I'm trying to say that you should eat lot of fat and cholesterol.
Yes, that's what
I mean,
yes.
by eating lot
Does
of
not affect diet.
no, if by eating lot of fat and cholesterol, you cannot
Prevent this.
bring the 85% down. Yani, okay, I will provide 50% and 50% the body will make. It will not be like that. How do you want it?
So
Yes.
if we eat meals that contain zero cholesterol for a long time, this will affect the liver, for example,
Exactly.
change hypertrophy.
No, not hypertrophy. The point is that you will keep on making your own cholesterol. So there is no escaping the fact. I mean, so the point that I was trying to make is by eating zero cholesterol in the diet, you cannot bring down the cholesterol levels in the body. That is the point that I was trying to make. Of course, if you eat more cholesterol, you will be raising and that is not healthy. More, I am saying, more than normal. Excess.
The person comes to you and say, I want to eat any cholesterol, but he has sedentary life, he small, he didn't smoke.
Yes. So there are many variables. Many variables are there. Normal diet, what I am trying to say is your diet should be having normal. Yeah, wine, use like you say, isn't it? In the middle. Don't be any too much fatty or zero cholesterol. That is also not benefit. That is what I am trying to tell you. Synthesis of plasma proteins, primarily prothrombin. Primary. There are others also. There are others, factor 7, 9 and 10. Okay? And obviously, these things are very much needed for blood coagulation, as we have seen earlier. Prevention of bleeding or hemorrhage, either internal or external, both of them. The pathway is through vitamin K. So vitamin K has to be there for the synthesis of these substrates, which are essential for blood clotting. So if vitamin K is not there or deficient, there will be deficiency or improper production of the substrates which are necessary for clotting, like prothrombin, factor 7, 9 and 10, etc. Vitamin K deficiency of clotting factors leading to increased bleeding times. In other words, when you do a test for clotting or bleeding, VGCT, you find that the bleeding time is more, suspect liver problem, suspect some problem in the liver disease. Okay? In other words, any patient who has come to you with cirrhosis or this thing, you will also do VGCT. So either you come like this or you come like this. Okay? You have to apply that piece of knowledge. Okay? So, there are three main types which are produced by the rough endoplasmic reticulum, albumin, globulin, fibrinogen, etc. And the importance of vitamin K. Shall we go on?
Rough endoplasmic reticulum of the side, does it differ from other cells?
I don't know.
So they say
Why shall it differ?
So they say the albumin specific to the side.
No idea. Detoxification process. Detoxification naturally either from internal sources or from external sources. What? Toxic substances. Toxins or substances which may cause harm to the body if they are inside the body. Internal source, as you know, metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. The byproducts of the metabolic processes of carbohydrates, proteins and fats are also detoxified by the liver. So that is coming from toxins coming from internal sources. The internal source means from metabolism of the basic nutritional elements. External sources, oh, many. So many things are there. Isn't it? Medicines that we have, they have to be detoxified. Hormone enhancers, food additives, preservatives, lot of things nowadays. All the food that you can buy from the market, it is called as processed and packed food. To increase the shelf life, it should not expire quickly. To increase the shelf life, companies do all sorts of things. So food additives, preservatives, food colorings, sweeteners, okay, flavor enhancers, Which is a flavor enhancer? Glutamate, Ajinomoto. You know, glutamate, Ajinomoto, flavor enhancer. If the glutamate is not there in your noodles, Indomie noodles, they will not taste so good. Even I think glutamate is being added by all these fried chicken people also. They are the flavor enhancer, taste enhancer. Chemicals used in agriculture, pesticides, insecticides, isn't it?